fantastic. Like I'd been going there a bunch over the last couple of weeks actually, and then now they're on board and they're excited to use Bitcoin Cash at their restaurant and then to buy things online with it. And it's just so much more convenient than using a normal bank or other traditional payment methods.
Oh my God, well, that's insane. Well, I mean, the best person to be speaking to about this is you, because for anyone who doesn't know who Roger is actually one of the founders of the original Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, and the audio cut out a little bit, but I assume you said I was the first person in the world to start investing in this ecosystem. And if you didn't say that, sorry, but that's what my guess was because the audio cut out. I've been in this space for almost a decade as well. So
it's incredible. How did you come to find Bitcoin? Like, what do you know what I mean? Like when you were there in that space in your mind, how did it evolve?
Yeah, I guess I can be thankful for having read a whole bunch of economics books and a bunch of science fiction books when I was a young man. And when Bitcoin came along, it was kind of a convergence of those two things. So the science fiction money that I had read about finally existed. And then having read the economics books, I could see that the characteristics that make something useful as money, that Bitcoin had all those characteristics. And so I knew that people were going to start using it as money. There was no doubt in my mind whatsoever. So the first step was to buy some Bitcoin. The next step was to start investing in the different businesses that would make it easier for people all around the world to use. And one of the things that I told you that we could do is I can literally send Bitcoin Cash to you right over the video call. And you don't have to give your name. You don't have to give your tax ID number. You don't have to give any information at all. You don't even have to tell me what part of the world you're in. All you need is a phone and the Bitcoin.com wallet app. And the money will literally go from my phone to your phone, and nobody in the entire world can block it. The FBI can't block it. The CIA can't block it. Nobody can freeze your account. Nobody can control it in any way. And it's absolutely amazing. So if you have your phone handy, I'd love to show you how that works.
I do. Let's do it. Let's do this.
So you're going to open the Apple App Store, and you're going to search for the Bitcoin wallet by Bitcoin.com. It should be the top result. It's not an advertisement. And it's a green and black looking logo. And you know what? For everybody that watches this video, because I'm not video chatting with them, but if they email me at roger@bitcoin.com, I'll send each and every one of them that emails me within the next 24 hours, I'll send them $1 worth of Bitcoin Cash via email, just like that. It's so easy. They can email me their address, or if they're not trying to do that, I can email them back. So
amazing. We're gonna stick it right here on the tag. So is it the green and black symbol Bitcoin wallet?
Yep, that's the one, the green and black one. And if you download it, yep, there you go.
Amazing.
So you'll hit the get button on that one.
Done. Face ID. Let's do this. Amazing.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
And literally the hardest part of the whole process is downloading the app, and that's not very hard. So.
Okay, I'm really excited, and I love it. It's so fast. Okay, I've got it now. I have to open it up.
And then you'll have to open it. Yep. And then you'll hit the receive button, and you'll hold it right up here. And you know what? Not only am I going to send you money over the video chat, but anybody else that sees that later on Instagram or wherever we put this, hold it a little bit closer in front of the camera there, if you don't mind. Yeah, there we go. Hold it nice. There we go. Got it. I've scanned it now. So I just sent you $100. If you look on your phone, you will have already received it. And anybody else that watches that will be able to send you money as well. So if people want to send you more tips, boom, they already see it. They can just scan it when they're watching the video with their phone and send you a tip, or you can.
Oh my God.
Really amazing.
So insane. So now I can go and pay for things literally like this.
Yep, and if you look at map.bitcoin.com, you can see restaurants near you where you can pay. But my favorite use case is buying things on Amazon through another website called purse.io. You can save 20% off every purchase there, including you can buy things like gift cards. So you can get gift cards for like Uber Eats and save 20% off every purchase from Uber Eats or Papa John's Pizza or Domino's Pizza or all these things. So,
oh my God, amazing. So where else can you pay with Bitcoin? Is it like everywhere in the world now? Because look, here's the thing. In the generation that I really reach at the moment, I reach a whole stream of different people, but I have a real prominent audience in what they call the new generation. And I think there's a lot of people there that want to know what Bitcoin is and want to get involved, and they buy a bit and then they're like, what do I do? What's the best way to really invest in it and do well from it?
Yeah, so I think the long-term strategy is you get people to buy some, but then you make it usable for everybody in commerce. And it's really important to point out the difference between both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And so what I just sent you was Bitcoin Cash because it has fast, cheap, reliable payments. The network fee for me to send you that money was about 1/20th of a penny. If I'd done the same thing with Bitcoin today, the network fee would have been about $7. So for me to send you $100, it would have cost me $107. and you would receive $100, but you'd only be able to spend $93 of it because it would cost you $7 to spend it. So there's a whole lot of Bitcoin drama and politics that went on a few years ago, and the one single version of Bitcoin split into two versions of Bitcoin. One is still called Bitcoin, but the one that's called Bitcoin Cash today is the one that actually has all the popular to begin with. And so from an investing standpoint, I think Bitcoin Cash is a much, much better investment because it actually works as money, whereas Bitcoin no longer does. But I invite people to try Cash and decide for yourself which one is better. But my money's on Bitcoin Cash. It clearly seems to be the one that will be the most useful to them.
That is so cool. So if you had to speak to your younger entrepreneurial self, I get asked this all the time and I love it. What advice would you give to yourself back then? Because for everyone who's watching thinking, you're like, what, 41? You've done
I'm 41. How did that happen?
you've achieved so much in such a small amount of time. Do you know what I mean? And like, so what would you give advice-wise to younger entrepreneurs? To yourself, really?
Back when I was growing up, there wasn't really YouTube yet or anything like that. So I think the best thing was to read more books, because when you're reading a book, you're getting like a one-on-one tutoring session from some of the greatest, human minds to have ever lived. And so authors like Ludwig von Mises and Murray Rothbard and David Friedman and Milton Friedman, these people really influenced me in my worldview. And it's because I basically was a one-on-one tutoring session with these people. When you pick up a book that's written by somebody, it's like you get to spend hours and hours absorbing the information and the knowledge and the wisdom that these people have. And now you can do some of that on YouTube videos and tutorials there. But I think a book is a really fantastic way for people to be able to spread knowledge very clearly and deeply with going into all the details, whereas you might not necessarily be able to get that on a 10-minute or even a 2-hour-long YouTube video. It's just not the same as a book. So my advice would be to read more books from some of these great thinkers we've had in human history, and you'll really be able to see and understand the world more clearly. And if you can see and understand the world more clearly, you can then act within the world to achieve your goals more effectively than you would if you didn't understand. So it's like to play any game, you need to know the rules. If you understand the rules, then you can play it. In the world we live in, there's the laws of nature and the laws of economics, and there's all these different things out there. If you can understand them more deeply, you'll be able to achieve your goals in life more effectively than you would be if you didn't understand the way the world works. So pick up and read more books.
I love that. You've just touched on such an amazing point of the laws of the world, the laws of the universe. Actually, inside my book, so I'm an author now, there's many different laws of the universe that are there inside, and I teach you in a very easy way, breaking it down simply, and like everybody who's read this book will understand, all the things that I've learned. I reference many different other authors in the way that you've just spoken about, people who really touched me and reached me with methods that they did, and I reference them for certain exercises that are in there. Like I have Wim Hof breathing in there, which I think is amazing, breathing exercises as part of your daily rituals, part of your daily regime. And the other thing is that's very interesting that you touched on about the laws of the universe, the different laws that are out there, the laws of economics, is recognizing your non-productive paradigms and changing them, and recognizing your productive ones and going with them and following them. You can't commit to both growth and self-sabotage and procrastination. You have to choose one or the other, and through the methods that you learn from various different authors and speakers, writers, and people like yourself, entrepreneurs, you learn so much through watching talks like this. The best thing I ever did was just sat and studied and became a student to some of the biggest minds that have ever been on this planet. And I studied and I learned, and then I was able to take all that knowledge in and now teach other people, which is a real blessing, to be able to guide others. And I think when people are starting a business, they have to, the more they know, the more knowledge they have, the further they'll go. But the biggest problem most people have is the lack of knowledge and the lack of knowing, and then they'll sort of chase a path without necessarily having the right structure in place. And you want the right structure in place. You want to have structure and know exactly where you want to go. Start setting goals every single day towards the dream, towards what you want to achieve. Most people just crave money. You know, they don't actually understand that if they want to be a millionaire, they've got to do the things that the millionaires do. The millionaires aren't lazy and don't sit around all day just hoping and wishing and dreaming. That's not how it works. You know, you have to put in that hard work, which I'm sure you did at the start of your career. How old were you when this whole like Bitcoin scene emerged?
Yeah, if you want to become a millionaire, you'll have to give other people in the world things that they value more than the $1 million that they give you. And so every millionaire out there, they've literally produced more than $1 million worth of value to the world. So go out there and look around at what people need in the world and figure out a way to give it to them and sell it to them, because that's what all businesses are, and that's how every millionaire is made, other than, robbers and people through, government regress. So go out there and find something your fellow man needs and figure out a way to give it to them. And you'll become a millionaire by doing so if you're successful enough at it.
I love that. No, completely. And taking small steps. A lot of people, if you say, I want to achieve X in 10 years, so you've got your 10-year plan. I think if you actually break that down and say to yourself, I'm going to aim to achieve my 10-year plan in a year, and you may take 6 months to achieve it, but actually you're going to achieve your 10-year plan in a much, much shorter space of time. But a lot of people try and leave it as an open goal. They say, I want a yacht in how many years? I want to have an 8-digit business in X amount of time. They should aim now. Right now, you should aim for it. Everything that you want in your life, aim for it now, strive for it, put goals towards it. The biggest issue I think that I had, I had it so bad, I still sometimes have it, is you can waste time doing things which are not bringing in the main thing towards the main income, if you want, towards your actual goals, towards the beneficiary, the sort of, if you look at the way your company's going to be one day. If you're doing the smaller things and you feel like you're getting loads done, but you're not actually doing the thing that brings you the money in, and the thing that brings you the money in is the thing that you want to focus on, and you want to flip that and scale it, but you end up focusing on the smaller tasks. And that's where a lot of people fuck up early on and need to, go back to the drawing board and say, what brings me the money? Let me draw it out, focus on this, take steps towards it, because, the temple of ideas will just stay as a temple of ideas unless you execute them and make them a reality.
Future of cryptocurrency are peer-to-peer electronic cash. Today, Bitcoin has this worldwide record, but the user experience is horrible, and it's not the actual version of Bitcoin that made me excited about it to begin with. So other things like Bitcoin Cash and others, I think, have a much better perspective from an investment standpoint. And as I mentioned, anybody that emails me at roger@bitcoin.com, I'll send them for free $1 worth of Bitcoin Cash, which today is $1 worth $1,000 someday. It could go up by 1,000 times from where it is today. And so lots of people in 2011, when I started doing that same thing, took me up on it. Now it's worth a lot of money. Lots of other people regret not having taken me up on it. So I think now is a second chance again for anybody that wants. Email me at roger@bitcoin.com, and I'll email you $1 worth of Bitcoin Cash just like that, and you can get started today. It's so fun and easy, and it's miracle magic internet money. You can send it to or from anyone, anywhere in the world, just like I did with you, Natasha, a few minutes ago. I bet you've never received money over a video chat directly like that before. It's incredible.
That was the coolest thing ever. I literally was like, so I can go and pay for anything with this right now. So is it the equivalent? So $100 is 100 Bitcoin Cash, the same?
So $100 worth of Bitcoin Cash at the moment is a little over a third of a Bitcoin Cash, so maybe 0.35 Bitcoin Cash at the moment. But today it's $100 worth. Tomorrow it might be, $105 or $95. It goes up and down. In fact, if you check it now, it's probably something already slightly different than $100. But as Bitcoin Cash becomes more and more popular around the world and people realize how convenient it is, that $100 that I sent you could become worth as much as $100,000 someday. So it's important to show people how this works and how useful it is, and it's better than Venmo or Cash App or PayPal, because nobody can freeze your account, nobody can block the payments, nobody can control it in any way whatsoever, and it's basically free to use and basically instant, and it works in every country around the world. It's really, really an amazing, powerful tool, and Bitcoin Cash has all these characteristics that are the exact same ones that made me so excited about Bitcoin back in 2011. And the thing that everybody's calling Bitcoin today no longer has those characteristics. So it's a really big interesting thing that happened in terms of people's perception in marketing. But if you want to be able to navigate within the world to achieve your goals, you have to understand the world. And so it's important to understand that Bitcoin Cash works as cash. Bitcoin no longer does, even though it has this worldwide name recognition.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's so interesting. I love it. I'm so excited. Well, thank you for all your knowledge today on everything. I'm super excited. And thank you for checking in and teaching us so much. I'm going to put all the links below so everybody who wants to find out everything about Bitcoin and claim your free dollar from Roger as he's promised, the link will be right here below and his email. So go, go, go. Take it, guys, while it's there, because remember the last time everyone missed out, it's now worth like hundreds of thousands. So if you missed out back then, you don't want to miss out now. So yeah, thank you, Roger.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Natasha.